Welcome back to Death of the Outsider. We are going to head into the Albarca baths. These are a lot of bodies. Probably the people that didn't fare too well.
Climbing slowly, dark way, hidden high in the walls. Up past water drip, woods soft with rot. Secret rooms high up, hounds hunger there. They feast on men.
Interesting. We overheard the rats talking about an unconventional route to the second floor at the Albarca baths, directly above the locker room. Here's a map. We're in the entrance area. Are you alone? I wonder... We haven't been seen. I don't think it's possible to do this on low chaos. Does that count as being seen? No. That's interesting. Leaving the Eyeless for Winnodown. Eleanor, I'm shoving off as soon as I get coin enough for a ship to Winnodown. My heart soured on this place after the brute killed poor Maudie last month. I'll never forget how the crowd laughed when he gutted her. Pricks. Nope, it's time to move on. Lania says she can get me honest work with a Winnodown guard. I'd rather look a fool in that uniform than stay here and see the black arts mocked. Jeanette said our orders came from a higher power. The Eyeless were privy to big secrets, she said. What a laugh. Nary a one of these fools can craft a proper bone charm or rotting ointment. All they do is guzzle rat liquor and puke and brawl like babes. I won't miss any of them. You're my only friend here now that Maudie's gone, so I wanted to say farewell. Come see me in Winnodown if you can. Marina. Well, Marina, she won't. Also, this lady seems to have been a butch. You can see her tattoo. That's the tattoo of the Eyeless, though. Anything else of interest here? I don't think so. There's a door, but that's locked or blocked. Let's head down into the baths.
Outsider's eyes. Daud. They're making him fight? I have to get him out of there.
You don't look so tough. Look at you! Trapped like a hound in the pits. Hoping your masters will throw you a bone charm.
Indeed.
You're fighting the black magic brute? Why don't you roll in sardine paste and swim through hagfish waters instead?
When you get in there, up your agility right off and swing a hard left jab. Works like a charm.
I knifed bigger blighters than him when I was a bottom street runner. And for less coin than I'll make when I win this
That's a
match.
restricted
You
area.
won't win. The brute cheats the eye with his speed. His moves are a blur. It's unnatural.
Eyeless's diary, excerpt from a private journal. The 24th of Harvest. Heard from some of the women who came over from the Royal Conservatory that there's a man tied up in one of the old public baths. I laughed, but they said it wasn't like that, and there's something special about him. I'll round up some of the others and go take a look. The 3rd of Nets. They weren't lying. Some unlucky fool is down there. I don't know what that machine is or who put him there, but we found a real one, void-touched, just like the women said. The 7th of Nets. We moved the operation over to the Albarca baths, easier than trying to move him. He's got some real fight in him, though you wouldn't know from how old he looks. Need to talk to Jeanette. 12th of Nets. Got it all set up now. We called him the Black Magic Brute. Came up with it myself. I'm proud of that one. The outsider gave him magic, I know that much, but the stupid hound can't talk. Or won't, just mutters. Won't look anyone in the eye until a fight starts. But those fights, we'll be making coin of him for a long time.
Trust me, you won't land a blow.
Nobody's that fast.
Who opened this door?
I smell in you, my
Maybe the
friend.
wind or something. Oh, it's trash. Blowing in the wind.
Okay, so this is the spring razor. This looks to be the area the rats were talking about. Yep, up there.
Hello. Work me until I drop.
For luck, walk 3 times around the square with breeches reversed. Who shakes your hand will take your bad luck from you. At midnight, face south and eat a tin of hagfish whilst singing I Knew a Lady 3 times. Rest a teacup on your forehead whilst taking the day's first piss. If it don't fall and break, luck will come. Eat a rotten Tivian pear, but keep the core in your pocket for luck all day. If a white cat hisses at you, hop the main dock's length on 1 leg without falling, then spit into the sea to break the jinx. Make a wish, wear a scarf soaked in rum around your neck for a week. Ugh. If it draws no comment, drink the rest of the rum. Your wish will be granted.
There ain't enough coins in the world to make it worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hello.
Well, I will do my very best at trying to do this. This one is locked. Do this on Ghost, but I can't promise that I will be able to do it. It depends on the on some of the fights. Hostile territory. Bone charm. Acrobat. Climbing speed is slightly faster. Charm Carver's Diary. 8th of songs. A charm carver will never starve, my mother used to say. Always coin to be made by selling wishes and wants to folks who don't come by much of either in their day-to-day. Well, I'm hungry, and this piece of rotted bone hasn't helped me get out of the way of the overseers. Don't know who I pissed off, but someone must have slipped them my name. If those witch hunters catch me with my mother's carved bit of whalebone, it'll be a slow death. Outsider's arse. I'm in it now. 12th of songs. Managed to palm off 2 useless bits of bone to a sailor stinking like whiskey. Couldn't tell his right from his left, or a real charm from a fake one. Coin should get me through the week at least. Overseers still 2 steps behind me, going mad looking over my shoulder all the time. 22nd of songs. Finally found a safe spot. Full belly too. Now I got a different hunger. My sweet singing bone charm round my neck again. Wet whalebone in my hands. This one I'll carve up nice. Not as strong as some, but still good. Went too long without. Want it just as much as the bones now. Flammable liquor. Turn this crank wheel to shut that off.
Little mud wails for the one who left it. It smells of fat milk, smells of longing and fear. Not right, but soon.
Okay, so we can wend our way out here.
If I'm always making the liquor, huh? You ever think about that, Ms. Lee?
Oops. Okay, so here's the plagued spirit that we need to eliminate for that contract. Chloroform bottles. Aplenty. by the looks of it. Let's use those for our nefarious purposes. I want a few of them. Yes, I know there's a bone charm nearby. I will deal with it. Is that the final one? Oh, there's one there as well. So here's a black bone charm. Forceful throw. What does that do? Hurl objects with greater force. Sure. And oodles of coin. This drawer contains the plagued spirit bull rat liquor. Ouch. 1 grown bull rat, alive, exclamation mark. 9 red potatoes, 3 drops wormwood oil. Drain rat's blood into large cooking pot. Boil with potatoes on red hot stove. Add wormwood when a mash forms. Strain the brew into copper vats with the rat corpse. Swelter 1 full moon cycle. Strain into a bottle. Wear a mask or you'll puke. Seal the rat inside with the liquor. If Jeanette sees you steal a squiff, you'll be hound's meat. Okay. We'll deal with the... Maybe I can deal with it right away if I just close the door. Coins on the table. And you don't want to...
Wait. It's made out of rats.
You don't want to just smash it because it'll make you dizzy. You can probably see that putrid orange smoke. Contract industrial espionage has been fulfilled. Okay. Now, we want to go out. And then pick up the chloroform. And do that.
What was that? What? Huh? What? Come on. It was coming from here. Let's see. What? What? Thank the void. She's alive.
Ah, they saw me. That's a shame. Well, I'll give it another go. Or I can close the door in my face. Let's do it over there instead. They saw me again.
What's going on? What's that? So you're back.
Huh?
I'll
happened?
find you.
What? Somebody's not feeling well.
One of them almost saw me, but didn't quite. I think he's the final one. I don't think there's anyone left downstairs there now. Let's save the game. We can pile them up. Get lots of raw whalebone from them, which is nice. Letter to a friend. Thomas, you don't know what you're getting into with this black magic. It draws you in with harmless things like sailor's charms, but then see what horrors the eyeless make you do when you're too scared to leave. That's what the outsider wants. You didn't know I had a brother, did you? When we were little, there was an old woman who lived by the dockyards. Ma said to run if she ever looked at us, but we didn't listen. She was ugly as a hagfish, but she'd tell us odd stories and said her black-eyed friend would visit if we were quiet. Then my brother went missing. We searched all over for him, but we found no trace. That night I went to the old woman, that witch, and she had something awful smelling in a pot she was stirring with all her strength. I asked if she'd seen him, and she laughed, said yes, and showed me. She had cut my brother up to pieces, nothing but bones and red flesh and the little scarf he always wore. She'd have ground up me too, if I hadn't run to the overseers. Get out of this cult while you can, before you're gutting someone's son or daughter to get the outsider's attention. Adela. That sounds like Granny Rags. Stealing the bone charm reward? I poked around and found that big reward bone charm stashed upstairs in a workshop. Stealing it is your problem, but take my advice. If you can't handle the brute without some powerful bone charm, you'd best not mess with Jeanette Lee and her goons. Now, you might be wondering why I'm piling them all up in the corner there, but I have very good reason for doing so. The bookmaker dropped off bets at your place. Robbie, I dropped the betting coin in the safe and hid your apartment key in the bucket by the door like you said. You're all set. You owe me 2 bottled rats for helping you this time. Elira. P.S. If you forget the combination again, tally the books over your desk. Maybe they'll uncover your memory. So there's the hint to the safe combination.
Only at the Spectre Club. I wonder if that's a private club for eyeless members.
It's a corrupt bone charm, high pressure. Explosions from grenades, oil tanks and bottles inflict more damage, but grenades, oil tanks and bottles have a smaller blast radius. We won't use that. Let's grab the coins. Blank betting slip. This is what it looks like. A bet on the brute to kill. 7 coin to win with kill. Bet on the brute to win. 10 coin on win no kill. I'm not sure how that would actually make them money, considering... I mean, everyone would bet for him, and then they would have to pay out. Konos star tables. Heavy pouch. Snub the painting of the outsider. Didn't get to see what it was called, but Okay. Save. Oh, didn't see that the last time. Let's climb back up here. Let's grab this. Carefully move on over here. And yes, I am going to do exactly what you're thinking. Getting rid of evidence. Also playing high chaos. Processed whale oil. Hooks. Voltaic shots.
I once knew a kid who said his bone charm would make bullets bounce off his skin. He shot himself in the stomach and died a day later.
This one does increase your jump height and distance. Yep, we can equip that. Defeat the brute reward. Don't know what we did right, but we crafted a mighty powerful bone charm this time. Jeanette says it's the reward for beating the brute, so spread the word. Barge whalebone. None of which we can use for anything. Bone charms. That one we've definitely read before. Okay, so we can get up here to get into this room. Where there is at least one person. Save. Loot and pick her up. Open the boiler. Throw her inside. Close it. And burn the body. Letter to Alma. Dear Alma, your last letter tore my heart out with you begging me to quit the Eyeless gang and come home. Whatever gruesome tales you heard, the Eyeless aren't bloodthirsty brutes like hatters or howlers. They know things, secret things. They are teaching me how to make medicines and brew potions and even carve my own bone charms for the occult boxing fights. If I keep winning matches, I'll catch Jeanette Lee's eyes. She's the boss here at the Albarca. If I work for her, the coin will come rolling in. More than I ever made toiling on the docks. Sad news about Graham's fever. I can't spare any coin, but here's some dried ravenbeak for a poultice. Boil it down with yarrow root in a copper pot and spread it thick on Graham's chest. She'll be right as crystal rain in no time. Your brother, Rory. Electrical burst, copper wire. About electrical burst. Jeanette, remember those old walls of light parts we found near the dockyards? Well, I found a way to make use of them. Turns out there's a part in them that powers the whole thing. So I took it out of all the rusty coils and now we've got these little things to stun folks if they get out of hand. I call them electrical burst. You're welcome. I've already seen folks sling them at rats to keep them out of the storerooms, but it makes them tense up and ruins the meat. Can't even make liquor from them when they're like that. Better to use them on larger vermin, you get me? One last thing, do not touch the tip, and by the outsider, do not lick it. I wish I didn't have to make that clear, but Lacey did on a bet, and it took hours to wake her up, and now she's got no eyebrows. Not from the electricity, just because someone shaved them off when she was out cold. But we told her it was the electricity. Leon. That's kind of amusing, yes. This one just leads out here again. Okay, so here we have a few overseers. Not sure why... Ah, he was hanging in a hook mine. And that's a hook mine too. Well, I can't do anything with it. Okay. About the hook mines. Stefan, what did I tell you? Glad we stole those blueprints last month. Sure, those parts were hard to find, but these hook mines are already making themselves useful. Snatched up an overseer trying to sneak in here. Wish I could have seen what his face looked like under that mask when the hooks got him in and dragged him up. Would have paid a lot of coin to see that. But someone in this district is telling tales about us to the Abbey of the Everyman. Those witch hunters won't show mercy if they find out what we're doing here. Best find out which of our neighbors has a loose tongue. See if they can still snitch without it, and keep the tongue, we can use that. In the meantime, throw a rock or a rat up at this fool. See if you can make him twitch. I'll get more hook mines made as soon as I can. Arabella. We can take the hook mines. There's a few chloroform bottles here as well. That's what the hook mine looked like. Looks like. Interesting blueprint. Okay, let's quickly save the game and...
How's training? These beauties ready for my fighting ring?
Soon. They don't know how to spar yet. Loose the beasts and they savage anything that moves, friend or foe. Found an old beggar to train them on. Roots ripped him to meat gobbets in a blink.
Good. We want them vicious. Find some more beggars to train them on. But keep a watchful eye when you're dumping the bodies next time. We don't need the guards sniffing around here again.
Oops. That is one way to do it. Now to find a way to deal with the dog. Speaking of the dog, that's how a playful puppy plays with his toy. One dead dog in there. But I don't think there's any way we can... Well, I could get the dog in there again, that's something at least. Shooting from here probably won't do us much good though. I will try. Well, that worked. Can I get the other dog in there as well? Yeah, you're hearing correct. There is stuff going on here. Come on, doggy. Things are happening in the cage. Okay. I guess I don't want to. Let's save. There we go. carry the dog with us to fulfill the contract. Well, let's just check that everything is dead in here so I don't make any mistakes. She's definitely dead. So is he and the 2 dogs. That is a very bizarre position to be dead in. But okay. Guess it worked. Yet another whalebone. Those nuts almost looked like coins. Oof. Contract fulfilled. That's 900 extra coins at the end of the... or the beginning of the next level, which is going to be quite useful. There's a book, The Eyeless Got Potential. Anyone who's spent time on the water knows what these are. Lucky charms, scrimshaw, witchcraft if you want. Whatever you call them, these fancy bits of bone can be worth a fortune if they make good on their promises. Sometimes you'll find one on a dead howler or grizzler, some lifeless bootlicker's last hope in a fight. You will never find one on a dead eyeless. You know why? Because the eyeless make good on their promises. We know things the Abbey don't want you to know. And not just a balm to clear that rash you got in an alley, but how to scratch up a bit of whalebone so you don't feel pain in a fistfight. How to make even the most sharp-eyed guard miss you in the street, even how to get the outsider's ear and ask him a thing or two. You won't believe what we can do until you see it yourself. Until you see all those dead howlers at your feet and hold a bit of lucky bone to thank for it. All it takes is some ink under the skin and a couple of sleepless nights, and this city could be yours. Sluter key. And, don't need that. The uses for hag pearls. Clarice, here's what you asked for. Weren't too hard to find, but you know, they're not real pearls, right? 6 years at sea should have taught you that. Hagfish spit them up when they ate something bad. A rat falls in their mouth and 2 weeks later a bunch of these come out, waxy and full of little bones. Or they swallowed up the silver teeth out of a dead man's head and it's made them too heavy to swim right. Either way, it means they shove these things out one end or another, probably why they smell awful. When they dry out, they stiff, and I've seen street kids pitch them at folks with slings. But dock workers say they're unlucky. Cut open a hagfish belly and a bunch of these pour out. You'd better take care. Your gran used to collect them, had a string of them around her wrist, and when she wanted someone's luck to turn, she'd whisper their name to it and slip it in their pocket. Worked half the time, at least. Might help you out someday. Who knows? Just don't eat one. Visit again soon. Aunt Flora. Hag pearl. I don't think there's anything else of interest here. Let's look at the stats. 19 kills, 9 of them were assassinations. We have not been spotted. Can go down here. Grab these coins and unlock this door. But going out there right now is probably not the best idea. Flammable liquor. Save. I think we want to take the stairs down. Also, I want to place a spring razor. Here. And then I want to put a hook mine there. Let's make them lethal. Brute power suppressor. Do not touch. I don't know how this thing works, but it keeps the brute under control and in the pit. Have your fun, but watch out. When I've got my money's worth, our leaders will want to eyeball him. We were lucky to find such a vicious cur for their studies. You've seen him fight. If he gets out, he will kill us all. So don't turn off the machine. Jeanette Lee. Hello.
Daud!
Lurk. There's nobody left. You did well here. I knew you'd seek me out one day.
You were hard to find. How did you end up here?
So let's talk somewhere else. The Eyeless have more secrets than you know.
I've got a ship. Or what's left of it. The Dreadful Whale. It's docked below the Akantila repair station. Daud,
Say whatever you want to say, Billy. That you're here now is enough. I need your help.
Like old times?
Those days are gone. This is something bigger. One last job.
I can do it. Who's the mark?
The one responsible for it all. The cults. The black magic. This mark on my hand. We're gonna kill the black-eyed bastard himself.
What? You want to kill the outsider? You want to kill God? I finally find him, and the old man's got me jumping right back into this occult shit. Daud can explain himself back on the Dreadful Whale.
Coming from here. Let's see. This won't go unpunished. You think I'm the next one? I'll prove you wrong. What?
supposed to be closed.
What? What? Somebody's down!
Whoever
You, I swear.
I'll...
I wonder what...
So let's see. What was it? I thought I saw someone right here. Let's check the place just in case.
The next mission is Follow the Ink. Daud is determined to kill the outsider himself, and he needs your help to do so.
When I first caught sight of Daud, I was just a broken kid, staying alive out of spite. He cut the throats of 3 men without making a sound, leaving only blood and death in his wake. I don't know what I was hoping for when I followed him that night, but he shared his strange magic with me. And more than that, his skill, his time, his trust, and sometimes his secrets. Now he's not the man he was. Here in his final days, he's got wounds that won't ever heal and regrets as sharp as mine. I know how much that carves you up inside, but I found him, and he wants me to help him make up for a lifetime of sins by killing a god. The Abbey teaches us that the outsider preys on weakness, that the void is the source of doubt, heresy, and suffering, that the outsider is to blame for all our ills. Who knows? Maybe they're right. The same dream. My arm hacked away, my eye hollow and burning. It still aches. Let's hope it's not some kind of omen.
Let me tell you something about the void, Billie Lurk. It touches the minds of the dreaming and the dying alike. And sometimes, dreams can only tell you what you wanted to forget.
I know who you are. Why are you here? What do you want from me?
People usually want something from me.
What in the void?
But you don't want my mark, do you, Billie? So I will return something you lost.
Wait, what are you? Ah!
The world was wounded around you. And you carry the scars. You will never be the same. I wonder if you'll like them.
What did he do to me? Of course he shows up now. Shit! Shit! He took my arm! And my face! Is it because of the dreams? Or Daud?
And that will be left for the next episode. But thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you all next time.